أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم من همزه ونفخه ونفخه بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله الذي بنعمته تتم الصالحات ثم الصلاة والسلام على رسول الله إخوة الإيمان السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام.
All praises are due to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We beseech Allah to shower His compassion and blessings unto our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his also his companions and the variety of believers till the day of accountability. Without wasting our precious time, the time is already gone. So I would like to go straight to the topic being given to discuss tonight. And the topic has to do with the issue of courtship in Islam. So what says Islam? Then what are the rulings or certain principles and guidelines we need to understand about the concept? You know, whenever I'm invited for a lecture like this, I do say something as part of my preamble. You know, in this kind of corrupt system, if there are still people who are discussing this kind of issue and they want to know what their creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, says about it, it shows that will curb illegal and illicit sexual acts in our environment. You know, those some people, by the time you start discussing this kind of issue, they will see you as if you are wasting your time. What do they want to say about courtship? Will they tell us it's good or not good? Will they tell me I should even go and quit the relationship with that boy who is my boyfriend? Or what have you? You know, as Muslims, number one, what makes us to be a Muslim is what? Is our total submission to the will and dictates of Almighty Allah. When we are defining Islam, Islam simply means al-istislamu lillahi bit-tawheed wal-inqiyadu lahu bit-ta'a wal-khulusu min ash-shirk. If you want to be a good Muslim before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you need to be submissive to Allah. If someone is not submissive to Allah, he is performing salat, he is fasting in the month of Ramadan, he goes to Hajj probably every year, he even performs Umrah maybe 3, 4, 5 times annually. Sincerely, this has not made you to be a Muslim before Allah. Do you know there are non-Muslims who perform salat? Do you agree with me? There are non-Muslims who fast in the month of Ramadan. In fact, there are non-Muslims who embark on Hajj. I've met one Igbo guy who said it that they said that Hajj, that's Saudi Arabia, God normally answer prayer there. Whatever God will do for me, I'm ready to go there if God will answer my prayer. There are some people, they are not after religion, they are after mundane benefits. If they are told that they need, maybe for example now, someone has got married maybe 10 years ago, no issue. And he is told, by the time you go to Saudi Arabia, by the time you go and do Hajj, you supplicate to Allah at so places, Allah will answer your prayer. There are some idol worshippers, sincerely, they will go to Saudi Arabia. Have they gone because they are submissive to Allah? No, they are not submissive to Allah. They have only gone there to achieve a purpose. You can even see what happened now. This Hijrah for the last year, for the 36. You know, so many Muslims now, they are afraid. Will I even go to Hajj next year now? The issue of the crane is there. What happened at Mona is there. You know, so many Muslims lost their lives. If you really understand what happened, you will know those people, they died as sinless people. Allah will have forgiven all their previous sins, except if their intention is not solely for Allah. But what I'm trying to pass across is that some people, they may still go to Hajj, not because they are submissive, but because they want to achieve one benefit. Are we together now? What will make you to be a Muslim is when you are submissive to Allah, not partial submission. We are talking about absolute submission to the will of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's what makes us to be Muslims. Now, you want to eat as a Muslim. If you are told the consumption of pork is haram in Islam, I know I'm talking to medical doctors. You know medical effect. But there are some Muslims, they will query it. Why has Allah forbidden the consumption of pork? I was told that it is very palatable. It is this, it is that. But we as Muslims, we will never question Allah. You, Allah, why have you forbidden the consumption of what? Of pork. We will never do that. We will leave it. Some people will still question Allah. You, Allah, why have you prohibited consumption of alcohol? We as Muslims, because of our submission, we will not query Allah. We will not question Allah. We submit ourselves to Him and to His dictates. I want to embark on business transaction. If I'm told that this type of business transaction is unlawful in Islam, for me to be a good Muslim, I will be submissive to Allah. I will not embark on it because it is what? It is haram in Islam. The same thing is applicable to issues that have to do with opposite sex. Issues that relate with boy-girl relationship in Islam. So many Muslims nowadays, sincerely, they are lost because of what? Because they want to satisfy themselves sexually through unlawful means. We as Muslims, we need to really understand the concept we want to discuss tonight. The concept of what? Courtship. When we are talking of courtship, there are some other synonyms they normally use for it, like dating. Are we together now? I will give, with me here, I have like 3 different definitions, but I want to focus on 2. From these 2 definitions, inshallah, I will now start the lecture from Islamic point of view and what Muslim scholars have said about the concept we want to talk about. The first definition, this one says, I took this definition from Free Dictionary. That one defines courtship as the act, period, or act of seeking the love of someone with intent to marry. Please listen very well. This first definition of the courtship, it says, when we are discussing courtship, is a kind of act, A-C-T, act, comma, is a kind of period or an act, A-R-T, of seeking the love of someone, seeking the love of what? Of someone with intent to marry. Let us analyze this first definition. When we are talking of courtship, it has to do with the act of seeking love of someone. It has to do with the period when you seek love of someone and the act of seeking the love of someone, and your intention is that I want to marry such fellow. This is number 1 definition. From this first definition, there are so many things you need to understand before I come to what Muslim scholars have said from Quran and Hadith of Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You know, in Islam, there is nothing bad if you know you are ready to marry. Listen very well. With this definition, with intent to marry, you have intention of marrying this person. You are seeking a love, or you are seeking his love. Are we together now? You have intention of marrying the person, but that intention may not be now. It may be later. It may be now. It may be what? Later. From this first definition of courtship, sincerely, there is no much problem. Do you know why there is no much problem? In Islam, we have al-khitbah. We have what? Al-khitbah. Khitbah is when you propose to someone you want to marry. You seek his love. You seek a love. Inni uhibbuk. I love you, I want to marry you. Not, I want to be my girlfriend. I'm coming to the issue of girlfriendship and boyfriendship. I'm coming to that. I want to marry you. That shows my intention of proposing you is for what? For what? For marriage, for nikah. If that is the issue, that is synonymous with khitbah in Islam. Are we together now? Now, see another definition. Another definition is that one is from Longman Dictionary. That when we're talking of courtship, is the period of time during which a man and woman have romantic, underline the word, romantic relationship before marrying. Before what? Marrying, before marriage. From this second definition, that one is 100% haram in Islam. Are we together? And I'm coming to this definition. Let me analyze this definition. Is the period of time. It may even be just for 2 days. The period of time during which a man and a woman have a romantic relationship before marrying, before they get married to each other. You propose a girl today. I love you, I want to marry you. And today is Wednesday. Are we together now? 2nd December 2015. You now start romancing the game. For 2nd December, 3rd December, 4th December. By 5th December, you do legal marriage. Are we together now? What happens between you and that girl for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, for 4 days is haram in Islam. Do you get it now? It's not about 2, 3, 4 months or 2, 3 years. Even if it's just for 1 hour in Islam, it is haram. Romantic relationship where you romance each other. You may not have sexual intercourse. Let us be frank. Even the issue of romancing each other, touching each other, kissing each other, hugging each other. Do you get it now? All these are haram in Islam. From this definition, it shows courtship using this Longman definition is what in Islam? Is what? It's haram. And let me tell you, when we are talking of courtship today, this Longman dictionary is what people understand to be courtship. And that's even the reality of courtship. Hardly will you see. I know what I'm saying. In fact, if time permits, I will give us some experiences I had. Some information I got, even from those people that were affected. Even among Muslim brothers and sisters. Even among those who are trying to practice pristine Islam. Sincerely, they were affected. You can't be pious than Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You can't be pious than the companions of Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You can't be pious than proofs, evidences from Quran and Sunnah cautioning us against certain relationship, as I will come to explain, inshallah. Another definition here, that one is from Wikipedia, that when we are talking of courtship, it is the period in a couple's relationship which precedes their engagement and marriage. According to Wikipedia, during courtship, a couple gets to know each other and decide if there will be an engagement. By the word engagement, you know what they mean by engagement? You know the way they normally do their rubbish. By engagement, they mean marriage. You know the way they do their own engagement and all this rubbish. Before engagement or other such agreement, let us analyze this Wikipedia definition. You know, in this definition too, it is couples relationship which precedes their engagement and marriage. And during courtship, a couple gets to know each other. They get to know each other. My dear brothers and sisters, let me tell you, if you do courtship for 1 million years, you will never know each other. I swear by Almighty, I'm inside the mosque. I know what I'm saying. I know so many homes we have intervened in. I know so many disputes we have settled among brothers and sisters. Despite your courtship for 3, 4, 5, 7 years, I'm very sure you will not know each other. You will only know some aspects of each other. Let me give you instances. You and a sister, you are cutting each other. Are you telling me the sister wants to display a negative side? Please, I'm asking. Do you think she will be ready to do so? Do you know a brother who was, who proposed a sister, and what he told the sister was that he was a graduate, a university graduate, and brother was very proficient in speaking English language, but the brother was a dropout. He did not finish the program, and he showed the sister, see, when I was given admission to University of Toronto, do you get it now? This was our dean. See the money I paid for the first year, for the second year. But the sister too, the law has even covered her face. She couldn't even ask, can I see your certificate? Can I see this? After the marriage, can you see simplest something? The sister would not even know about the brother. I'm a graduate. I'm not a graduate. It was after the marriage she knew the brother was not a graduate. Let me tell you, I know your sister. May Allah be with the sister. This sister, is a very pious Muslim sister. A very chaste sister indeed. She never embarked on Jahiliyyah until marriage. She remained a virgin till marriage. This was a very good sister I know. I've even taught her in the past. We even communicated less than 48 hours ago. Do you know what happened to the sister? Sincerely, at times I will even nearly cry for the sister. But Allah ask reasons for them or anything. The brother she got married to, he had one medical problem, and it has to do with mental problem. The sister could not even know that, despite few years courtship between them. It was after the marriage, before she knew. As I'm talking to you now, they are no more together. The sister would have been stabbed one night, were it not for Allah's intervention. When the mental problem started again, and the husband just took the knife, do you know, if something like that happened to you, and your husband, how will you do? Even for you, if Allah escapes you now, the next thing, you see marriage the brother, they are no more together. And the brother did not even narrate this to the sister. What he told her is that, though I have a but I normally use drug, he didn't even tell the sister that they are only managing the something. See now, with your courtship, do you think you know everything about each other? No. If you feel like you know everything about each other, you are deceiving yourselves. I'm telling you. Okay, if your husband is a type that anytime you are together in the night, after he has already eaten in the night now, maybe he will fart like 10 times before he sleeps. Boo, boo, boo like this. Do you think you know that through courtship? And you, that's the most detested something to you. Can your man so let you don't love it. Will you now kill your husband after you have already prepared delicious beans and plantain for him, and he consumed it, and the way of thanking you is boo like 5 times? And that's the thing you hate most. Please, will you now go and cut his head off? Do you think he will display this to you when you are together? Even when you are together, he will manage. You will not even know. You're someone, the man guy, you will just be managing doing that. And that's the thing you don't love. Will you ask him, will you know this about him? Sincerely, you can't know all this. That is why, from this young revelation to courtship in this way is not in line with Islamic understanding and principle. We need to understand it. Not only that, it is this relationship that will now tell you whether there will be engagement or otherwise. If during this relationship now, you now detect something, after you have even had access to each other, you now tell him, I'm no more interested. This our relationship will not lead to marriage, and you break. his heart or you break her heart. That is not Islam. That is not what Islam. Now, let us now start analyzing the issue. The way courtship has been defined now, it shows courtship is not in line with Islamic concept of khitbah. It's something entirely. I will now compare and contrast between the two. And I will let us know why we need to understand our religion the way it is ought to be understood. Number one, in Islam, I want to marry. Islam sees nikah as an act of worship, not a way of satisfying your sexual urge alone. I do tell brothers and sisters, anytime we have programs like this, if your own intention of getting married is to satisfy your sexual urge alone, sincerely, you will be greatly disappointed after marriage. Marriage is not all about enjoyment. It entails enjoyment and it entails the other way around. Number one, nikah is what? Is ibadah, and nikah of sunnati. Faman ragiba an sunnati falaysa minni. Is the tradition of Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And whoever deceased from nikah is not of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's a good Muslim. If someone says, me, I will not marry. Me, I will be worshiping Allah alone. 3 companions that came to Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying that Prophet sallallahu was very furious that day. In fact, scholars have explained that Prophet sallallahu, the 2 words he combined together that day. Hardly will he combine it for other issues. He said, Wallahi, inni la'ataqakum lillahi wa akhshakum. I'm the most pious among you. I'm the most conscious of Allah. I'm the most God-fearing among you. I marry. Whoever deceived from my tradition is not of me. One cannot say I want to be, I want to be pious. I want to show to the world that I'm the closest person to Allah. Sincerely, if you not get married, you will fornicate. It is natural that when you are mature, you know that you need to get married. The way when you feel hungry, you know you need to take what? Food. When you have, worked, you need to relax. These are natural things. If someone now says, I will not sleep. If someone says, I will not eat, you are only being deceptive. That is not the nature of Allah. The nature of Allah is that as human beings, we get married to each other. But Allah, out of His respect for we human beings, He has now designed ways of doing that. Animals. Have you ever seen animals, seeking consent of the parent of other animals before they have sexual relationship among themselves? Have you ever seen that in your life? Whereby one ewure will now take other ewures. Let us go to the family of other, or Obuko will now take his family. Oh yeah, let us go to the family of other ewures. I want to get married to your this thing. Have you ever seen that? Me, I've never seen it in my life. Rabbit. There was a time I was rearing rabbit. A male rabbit now can satisfy like nothing less than 4, 5, 6 rabbits daily. I've never seen where they will go and seek for permission. Animals, the way they do their own, they do it like animals. Like what? Animals. But I'm telling you, so many human beings nowadays, animals are even better than them before Allah. Illa kal an'am. Why? Animals will not enter paradise nor hell. By the time you cannot control your sexual urge, by the time you cannot control your self-desire, sincerely, in the hereafter, one will cry for it. That is why we are Muslims. We need to control ourselves. We need to know what our religion wants from us. Now, in Islam, you want to marry. If you know you are not ready for marriage, it is advisable that you hold onto the teaching of Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What is that teaching? According to hadith of Imam Bukhari rahimahullah, Prophet said, Ya mashar al-shabab, man istata'a minkum al-ba'ata falyatazawwaj, fa innahu aghaddu lil-basar wa ahsan lil-farj. Prophet said, oh you youth, man istata'a minkum al-ba'a, whoever among you that is capable of getting married should do so. But he who is not capable of getting married should continue fasting. Do you know our problem today? We are not ready to be fasting. And that sexual urge is disturbing you. People are now satisfying their sexual urge through unlawful means. Like what? Like animals. In Islam, if you know you are not ripe for marriage, not that some of us are not ripe, we are ripe, but we are not ready. Once you are mature and you know you can satisfy a woman if you are a man, and as a woman you know if a man satisfies you, you can be pregnant. That shows you are ripe for marriage, but you may not be ready. If you know you are not ready, it is advisable, brothers, that you don't even approach sisters. You know, some of us, we have a problem. The problem is that we believe in ourselves, that we believe in Almighty Allah. You see a sister that you love. You can't even sleep because of the sister. You can't even eat because of the sister. Even when you are going, you see the sister, you are in problem. Do you get it now? You now feel like, if I do not approach this sister now, there are so many brothers who can approach her. I'm telling you, if Allah has destined that even if you approach her now, you will still not be her husband. You will waste so many years on courtship. At the end of the day, you should go and marry another man. But your own spirituality will have been ruined. You will have been spiritually dead through illicit acts that will have happened between both of you. Now, if you know you are not ready for nikah as a brother, it is advisable, don't go for sisters. Don't go and approach sisters. I will tell you why. Then you sisters, if you know you are not ready for marriage, it's advisable, don't accept any proposal. Even if the person is the best Muslim in the world, if the person is the richest person in the world, because I know at times some sisters, they are normally carried away with wealth and materialism. Let us be frank with ourselves. Some may not even be ready, but they feel like, this one is can you sing now? You know, sincerely we are talking about your spirituality, your religiosity, your being God conscious. That's what we are talking about now. If you know you are not ready for nikah, it is advisable, don't accept any offer. Why? I will not give you reasons. The first hadith I read the other time, from the brothers, your own ba'a, scholars are given like 2, 3, 4, 5 interpretations to it. If you know you want to marry, I'm not talking, listen, you need to understand certain things. I'm not talking about, being millionaire before you get married. I'm not talking about that. Number one, if you know you want to marry, the first ba'a, the first ability you need to possess, that is what? Maturity. When you know you are mature and you are potent, you know you can have sex with opposite sex. Not that you can't even discharge at all, and you now turn that woman to be a prostitute. We are talking about quwwatul ijma, that sexual power for you to satisfy opposite sex. That's number one. But that's not enough. That's what is making people to be like animals now. You now see them. You see a man mentioning 3, 4, 5 girls he has cohabited with. That is very, very unfortunate. You see a man even boasting. You don't know the meaning of what you are saying. You are only aggravating your problems before Allah. It's not ideal. In Islam, if you know you only have that sexual power alone, you are still not ready for nikah. That's number one. Number two, nafaqat zawjiyya. You need to possess, listen very well, something you will spend what has to do with marital responsibilities. And Allah has even said, "Liyunfiq sa'atin min sa'ati," according to your own capability. Now you marry your wife, antuti'imaha idha ta'imta, according to hadith of Muawiyah bin al-Hida. You as a man, once you have got married to a sister, the first responsibility, you need to be taking care of her feeding. Her clothing, you need to take proper care of her. Are we together now? And other social responsibilities, you as a husband, you need to do that according to your what? Ability. Likewise, al-manzil, al-manzil, you need to have your own apartment, even just a room where you and your wife, at least you can be in seclusion, you can be in privacy without third party being looking at you. Are we together now? At least if you have possessed these three qualities, you are ready for nikah according to your own ability. It's not easy that until you get 7-bedroom flat. Do you get it now? You don't need 7-bedroom flat. Once you have a room that can accommodate you and your wife, by the time you are now having 1 child, 2 children, 3 children, a room may not be okay again. Do you get it now? At least according to your own ability, at your own pace. Now, with that, you can now go for it now. But now you yourself, you know you are not ready. You feel like, let me have someone. You will be gisting, you will be chatting, you will be discussing, you will be doing this, you will be doing that. That shows you are not even ready for nikah. You are only ready for what? Illicit sexual acts. You may not even have sex with each other, but there are so many evils. I will mention 14 things, or 10 to 14 things that are unlawful, even between a man and a woman who have even proposed to each other. Now, you sisters, why you need to be careful not to accept a proposal when you are not ready. In fact, your own is very detrimental and you need to be careful. Number one, you know in Islam, the way Allah has made it, you have only one chance. Please underline it. Only one chance. You can't marry more than a man. At a time, if your husband dies, you can marry another man. If you are divorced, you can marry another, but we don't pray for that for you. Now, from what is happening in the world, not only in Nigeria now, women are seriously suffering. I'm telling you, they are at receiving ends. Any problem now, it bounces on them. By the time you know you are not ready for marriage, you are not ready for nikah, the way Allah has made you women, once you have accepted a proposal, your own level of developing love for opposite sex is higher. You know, that's why all those boys with girlfriends, they are normally deceptive. They will be deceiving those girls as if they love them, and they do not love them. When those guys have even developed 1% love for those guys, they will now be cheating on them. Do you get it now? The way Allah has created you, once you have truly, there are so many girls too, we are deceptive. She will accept this one will send money to her GTV account. That one will send money to her First Bank account. That one, Stanbic account. The other one, UBA account. The other one now will transfer something to her phone. Do you get it now? There are so many girls like that who are very, they are deadly. And most of them, they normally have bad ends. I'm telling you, from what we have had and what we have known, they normally have bad ends because so many people will have even caused them. You as a Muslim sisters, the way Allah has created you, once you have accepted the proposal and you yourself, you know you are not ready, you develop love for it. And there will be a time you may not even control yourself again, and that may even, shaitan may even use you as a source of what? Source of, illicit sexual act. Our Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in hadith of Bukhari has said, "Ma taraktu fitnatan hiya adarru ala rijali minan nisa." That have not left behind me a calamity, a fitna, a problem for men than you women. That is why shaitan, he uses women and wealth to deceive people, to mislead people from Islam. No matter how pious you are, shaitan, alayhi la'natullah, you know what he did for our father Adam, alayhi salatu wasalam? He penetrated through his wife Hawa. You know, if you see one imam, one ustaz, very big ustaz, when he speaks, you go, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar kabira. If shaitan wants to mislead that ustaz, that imam, shaitan can use women. If shaitan penetrates to you through a woman, sincerely, you may not even be able to withstand the temptation. How will you do it if a woman has even, you can't even control yourself again? A woman has already, removed all her garments, naked for you. I need you. Allah Jesus, I can't even control myself. I don't know how to say it. Even just for once, after today, you will not do anything again. I also be lying in a shaitan. Once it happens, even just for once, you know what will happen. The temptations are there. Now, in Islam, I want to marry. I'm ready for marriage. You need to understand, how do I propose opposite sex? That will not make me to be like an animal. Then you sisters, you need to be respected. Islam respects you. You need to respect yourself. You don't know the way some people, they approach you, they relegate you. Wallahi, it's a kind of relegation. If you see a Muslim sister being proposed through Facebook, and you feel happy, you are supposed to even go and be put in dustbin. Someone who has never known, because of you normally chat, someone just proposed through WhatsApp, through Togo or to Jahannam, and you feel happy. Sincerely, that person has relegated you. Is that how to propose to a girl? Someone you just meet just for once. Assalamu alaikum, sister. Can I get your phone number? Okay. Assalamu alaikum. I really love you, girl. I love you to return. When I saw you at UCH Mosque yesterday, I could not even control myself again. Do you know even the can nearly eat me when I was thinking of you? And you too, you feel happy. Allah, say I'm beautiful like this. Don't let someone deceive you. You can't be as beautiful as Prophet Yusuf. Alayhi salam. Fala maro aynahu akbarina wa qata'na aydiyahum. Don't be deceived. When they saw Prophet Yusuf, this man is too handsome. Qata'na aydiyahum. They were cutting off their fingers. They were saying, this is not human being. This would have been a very precious angel. This is a respected angel. This is an highly esteemed angel. They cut off their fingers because of Prophet Yusuf. Alayhi salam. Alayhi salatu was salam. The way some sisters are approached today, sincerely, it shows those sisters, they do not know their worth. I'm not saying if a brother wants to marry you, you yourself may not be doing like this. Okay? By the time he comes 20 times, I will now tell him again, I will consider you, let me think of it. A sister did it and she was later regretting. If you see a brother who uses Islamic way, if you know you are interested, if you are not interested, you can do istikhara to supplicate to Allah for guidance. But once you know you yourself you are interested, but you want to show to the brother, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that manner of approaching you. There are so many ways of approaching women. In fact, the author of Fiqh Sunnah al-Nisa, he has listed around 4 or 5. In one of the lectures I did in the past, I've extensively explained all this, but the time may not contain it tonight. I will summarize it. In one of the lectures I did at UI, probably this year, I analyzed it there, but time will not contain it tonight. There are ways of approaching, of proposing a girl in Islam, if truly you are ready to what? To marry. And that will not be a kind of secret issue. It will not be made confidential. It should not be a private affair. You should let people know about it. Since really you are ready for marriage, you are not ready for boyfriend, girlfriend. Are we together now? That is why some people, they will be doing so many things and people will not know about it. This is the brother I want to marry. Don't stay indoor. Stay where people will be saying you. Number one, if you want to marry a girl, the best way is to propose to her through her parent, her wali, her father, if the father is alive. If the father is not alive, through her grandfather, through her uncle, through any of her wali. You know, this is the best way, if it is possible. especially if the father really understands Islam. Sincerely, if you can do this, you see a sister at UCH, you will not even go to the sister. You will go to her father directly. She's from Oshogbo. You go to Oshogbo. Assalamu alaikum Alhaji. I saw one of your daughters who is a medical student at UCH, Sister K by name, and I'm really interested in her. Though I don't know whether she knows me very well, but we normally meet at MSS program of UCH. So sincerely, I'm interested in, and I really want to marry her. Wallah, if you can do that, that shows your sincerity and your readiness. That is the best way. That's what Prophet did for Aisha, radiyallahu ta'ala anha. He went straight to who? To who? To Abu Bakr. And let me tell you, my brothers, this number one, it will facilitate your marriage if truly you are ready. And if, in fact, if the father is ready to give you the daughter, may I know you? I'm also a medical student at UCH. Which level? I'm 400 level. I'm from Ibadan. Who is your father? My father is a farmer. He plants cassava and potato. Okay? How do you cope when you get married to my sister? Blah, blah. You know all these things. Okay? I will tell my daughter. She will make findings about you. If she is interested, we supplicate to Allah. Allah will guide us. Wallahi, if the father presents the issue to the girl and the girl accepts, that will facilitate your nikah. Do you agree with me? And that will even give room for legal discussion. Since the father has signed the relationship, anytime you want to go to a house, you're free to go there. You will not even be staying under the tree, inside the river, and inside the hell, inside the oven, discussing Jahannam. You will be free. Do you get it now? This is the best method. If you can use it. Are we together? Are we together? Because I'm trying to manage the time. Number two is through intermediary. You send intermediary. If you want to send intermediary, you send a reliable and a wise person. Don't send someone who is not reliable. You send someone, go and help me to, you send, listen now, you want to marry Sister Nokia. You now send Brother Samsung. Do you get it now? Ambassador will now go and tell Sister Nokia, Brother Techno sent me to you. Though I'm also interested, he has already forfeited your issue. Send a reliable, a trustworthy, and a wise person. A person that will present your proposal in such a way that will even make it attractive to the what? To the sister. And you know that one respects you and it respects the sister. How? If she rejects the offer. Whenever you see the sister, you feel free because you are not the one who presented the relationship. And if the sister later accepts, that brother will help you in facilitating the issue, in reaching the parent, in other ways. Because you know Yoruba people now, they call it alarina. And that's why if there is, even in the future, if there is conflict between husband and wife, they will ask, who was your intermediary? Talalarina. That's why your own work has not stopped. Even after marriage, even till the day of resurrection, if any problem happens, you intermediary, you continue your work. Do you get it now? There are so many narrations on that among the companions. In fact, Al-Istanbuli, in his book Tufatul Arus, he brought so many narrations from the companions where they will send an intermediary. Another example is that of Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Khadija. Khadija was the one who developed interest in the Prophet. And because there are so many affairs here, they will now be given false stories about the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Khadija sent her friend Nafisa bint Muniyya to the Prophet. She was the one who interrogated the Prophet, and later the marriage was, at least solemnized between them. Are we together now? You can send intermediary. Are we together? If that is not possible, you may approach the girl. Some people normally think it's haram. It's not haram. There were instances, there were proofs for it among the companions too. But that one is not the best method. But if there is no other options, and if you want to do that, there are dawabit, there are principles. You see a sister where you don't know the parents, where you don't see any intermediary, you can do what? You can send. But the problem of brothers is that they feel like, let me go myself. That may even, query your sincerity. How? you don't want people to know. If a family woman, I don't want secretary to be aware of it. I don't want PR, maybe PR is even interested, I don't know. You get it now. Some people, they only want to make it hidden. That may even question your sincerity. But let us assume now, you see a sister where other options are not available. You as a student of UCH, you go for maybe, is it AMIS? What do you call this, your National Association of Ex Students, something? AMS. You go for maybe at Kaduna. You now see one sister, probably from University of Ilorin. You get it now. A medical student like you, and you love the sister. Maybe she presented a paper. Yeah, well, I see the sister, the way she was pronouncing the Arabic. See the way, oh, Allah, mashallah, and you don't know the parent. You don't even know someone you can send, and maybe she was even the only one from a university. Do you get it now? And you are the only one from a university. No other ways. There is nothing bad in Islam. Or even not like that. In the environment you are, you feel like other options are not available. There are narrations where some in fact, in Tufatul Arus of Al-Istanbuli, he brought so many narrations among the Salafs who approached women directly. Hadith of Fatima being to Qais was there. Though some scholars, they gave some other explanations that can be done to a woman who has been married before. And maybe she was divorced or the husband died. But some say it can still be used for a virgin, a woman who has not got married before. Muawiyah and Abu Jaham, they approached Fatima bint Qais. She said, Inna Muawiyata wa Abul Jaham khotobani. She said at the Prophet that Muawiyah and Abu Jaham, they approached me, they proposed to me that they wanted to marry me. And Prophet gave her advice. That's not where we are going for now. We are only discussing other ways. Now, if truly you want to marry the sister, I've only mentioned 3 now because of the time. And the sister accepts. That shows you are ready to marry the sister. And the sister is also ready to do what? To marry, to go to Ile Oko. Okay, if that is the issue, what is expected of both of you is how to do nikah. Not how to be chatting. Not how to be exchanging photos. Not how to be doing evils. But how to reach our league. How to reach our league. In Islam, you can do nikah within a week. A week is even too much. I know a brother here in Ibadan. A graduate of University of Ibadan. I know, inshallah. He married that sister. I'm much concerned. And I was aware of their relationship. They saw each other today. The next 2 weeks, they did nikah. Wallahi, I swear by Allah. I was there at their nikah. The day they saw, I know the day. She approached the sister and she accepted. And the next 2 weeks, they did nikah. That is too fast, Abi. It depends on the level of understanding. Do you get it now? The sister was even using a cup before they met. She unfurled her face. Are you okay? Alhamdulillah, mashallah, that day, they now park a load inside the jeep. Woo! They are now Abu and Umu now. Just 2 weeks. 2 weeks of courtship. I'm telling you, just 2 weeks. How many weeks? Between khitiba and what? And nikah. Between khitiba, proposal and what? And marriage. How many weeks? Just 14 days. I pray for that for my second wife. That I see a sister today and the next 2 weeks I do nikah. Sincerely, even a week, I see a sister today and the next 1 week. So the wife just, that will even reduce evils. Do you get it now? Because there is something we need to understand in Islam. You know, once you have approached a sister and the sister has accepted, now the love will now start increasing. Yes or no? Yes or no? Have you experienced it before? That's why you said yes. Those who have experienced it will say yes. We have experienced it. Once you have approached a person now, I love you. I want you to be my wife. I want to marry you. And she accepts. If truly you love each other, not that you are deceiving each other. There are so many people who are pretenders. I'm not talking about pretenders now. People who really want to marry. Wallahi, the love will be increasing. And there will be a time when your love has reached the peak. the law of diminishing return will set in. That's what normally affects some relationships. You will now see the boy that can even give you his eyes in the past. You will now say, oh, something is not wrong with you. I called you 3 times, did not pick it. Something is wrong. Who was calling you? Your number was very busy. The other time, if our number was busy, oh, how are you? Your number was busy. Oh, no problem. If someone is calling me, okay. You know, he will now talk to her politely. But now, the love is diminishing. Are we together now? You will now see her lashing the girl. But if you didn't get a girl, because he is having affairs with another girl, and the girl will be crying. Oh, he loved me in the past, so I don't know what is wrong with him again. You know the girls now. If the girl really loves you, and you disappoint the girl, she may even go and even kill herself. That is what normally affects most of the sisters. By the time you feel someone loves you, the love will be increasing. The love will be increasing. By the time the love reaches the peak, diminishing return will set in. And nobody will suffer except you sisters. Because you can't marry another brother. He will now say, no, you go and marry another sister. You marry the third one. You marry the fourth one. If it's not it doesn't receive satisfaction through you, you will see through another wife. And you will now be in your room crying, weeping because of something that has happened in the past. But by the time you get married, you leave the stage when the relation is what? It's love. When the love is there, if you get married now, by the time you are already in your own room now, you already set your marital life. Sincerely, if anything happens, they will only be admonishing you. I must shake, and that may be there. But now that you even got married, you will now be looking for your faults. Where one day I saw him trying with a boy, and one day I saw her, I called her, she did not pick the call. I guess she was one day I sent message to her on WhatsApp, and it showed that she was online. The next 15 minutes she did not reply me. That shows she was chatting with. You will now be suspecting each other. Do you know why you are doing that? Do you know why you are doing that? The love has already reached the peak, and it is now coming down. In fact, in so many cases, that relationship will not lead to marriage again. And in so many cases, that relationship will have led to illicit sexual intercourse. Who will now lose? You. Are we together now? Now, if khitbah is established in Islam, that brother and sister, you are still strangers to each other. That has not made you to be lawful to each other. Are we together? Please don't let us understand this aspect. You have proposed to a sister. You have, talked to a sister and she has accepted. That doesn't mean anything. The only thing it means is that there is agreement between you. You are not husband and wife. Now, there are so many things you need to know that should not happen between you. Number one, al-musafaha. Al-musafaha. Handshake. Once you have approached her and she has accepted, that doesn't mean you are lawful. You can't shake hand with her. I say, this is my fiancé or it is my whatever, the way you normally call it. You can't shake hand with her. It is unlawful in Islam. Are we together? Plus, Allah went to women. They wanted to do by our oath of allegiance with her. You know what he said? Inni la usafihu al-mar'a. Wa fi riwayatin inni la usafihu al-nisa. I do not shake women. That sister is still unlawful to you. You are not allowed to shake hand with the sister until something that I will end my lecture with will happen, which is Aqd Nikah. Until Nikah is established between both of you. If Nikah is not established, if you shake hand with her, you are a sinner before Almighty Allah. Number two, al-masu. What's number two? Al-lamsu. Touching. You can't touch her. You know that you are talking to her. No, you can't touch her. Even that sister, she's my kinekana, he is my, you can't touch each other. Do you get it now? Or both of you, Let's assume now you are going to somewhere and you on Okada, she at the back of your Okada, your leg is now touching her leg. There's a girl will marry her in the future. Both of you are criminals and you are sinners before Allah. You can't touch each other. Are we together? You are still strangers. That is why Islam discourages that courtship you are talking about. By the time you know, you are hungry, and this is food, and you can't take it. What is the next thing you do? You will facilitate the process that will make the food lawful to you. You and the sister, you are talking, and you can't even touch her. This is food for you, but you can't consume it. What is the next thing? You facilitate the process that will make the food lawful for you when you are hungry. Are we together now? You can't touch her. That's number 2. Number 3, al-mula'aba wal-muda'aba, romance. You can't romance her. You can't romance her. You know there are some people, by the time they feel like, me I can't have sex with her, but let me romance her. By the time you romance her, you release, and sexually, you are relieved. Do you get what I'm saying now? In fact, the issue of romance, let me tell you, romance doesn't mean having physical contact now. Through this your phone, you can romance a girl. Yes or no? Wallahi yes, capital yes. I know what I'm saying. Let me tell you. In fact, a girl herself narrated her own bitter experience to me. Even you that you said no, probably you know it's yes within you. If you can release your phone for me, I will know it's no. This is my phone, I can release it. I don't use password. You want to check my WhatsApp, check it. You want to check my Facebook, I will switch on my data now. By the time you and that boy who is disturbing you, that criminal who is disturbing you, for example, now, by the time you are sending pictures to each other, by the time you are chatting, I love you, my heart shake, my sugar of the tea, my microphone of the engine, my fan of the house. By the time you are changing all those messages, you chat between 10 and 12, 2 hours. What are you talking about? Love. What are you talking about? And by the time you even snap your picture, now through this, how they snap your picture, you send it to her. See the food I'm eating now. You are now feeling as if you are together. It's part of romance. Do you get it now? It can even happen through the phone. We need to be careful in such a way that sexually you are relieved. That shows you are now enjoying what you are not supposed to. That's number 3. We need to take note of that. Number 4, al-aklu ma'an. Al-aklu ma'an. Eating together. You can't eat together. You can't eat together. She is not lawful to you. You are not lawful to her. Even drinking together. This is 5 alive. You take. Let me take. You are now giving one another cup. So that you are not. That is not lawful between you. That is not lawful. Are we together? Al-khalwa. Al-khalwa. Being in seclusion. You can't be in privacy with her. You want to discuss anything where people will be seeing you. In fact, there is limit and limitation to what you can discuss. Do you get it now? Anything that can facilitate your nikah, you can discuss it. Anything that can improve one another in iman. Tomorrow is Thursday, try to fast. Tomorrow is Friday, try to be slow to the calf. But by the time you are discussing evils, sincerely, no matter how pious you are, Wallahu zaki Allah nafsi. Sincerely, I'm not exonerating myself. No matter how pious you are, we are human beings. That thing is in you, is in it. Once you are discussing with opposite sex, even if they close your eyes and you are touching like 10 people, by the time you touch a girl, you will know this is a girl. That's where Allah created women. By the time you are now in privacy, la yakhluwanna rajulun bimra'atin illa kana shaytanu thalithahuma. Prophet said that a man and a woman, if you are in privacy, in seclusion with opposite sex, shaitan will be the third party. Shaitan will be whispering into your heart. Touch her. Look at her. See her lipstick. Wow. See her eyelid. Oh, see her chest. Allah has even come. Allah has perfected this woman. The way a girl, when she put her picture on Facebook, a Muslim sister, and so many bad words, they were now, praising her. They were now, showering a comment on her, and she was, you are too beautiful, too great. God specially created you on Saturday. She will feel happy, they want to destroy you in this world and in the hereafter. Why posting your pictures on the internet? Something is wrong with you. You don't need it. You don't need it. It's evil. Do you know what happened now? By the time that you are in privacy, shaitan will be whispering into your heart. Wallah, you may not have the intention of doing something bad, but shaitan is our enemy. Shaitan has already destroyed the life of those small girls, those non-Muslims, those corrupt Muslims. But you that you are trying to use hijab, you that you are trying to perform salah, you that you are trying to do sunnah, shaitan wants to destroy you too. Agbafifo ni ma shekini ni ma o. They are empty barrels. Shaitan has already conquered them, but he wants to conquer me. He wants to conquer you. How will we now, save ourselves from satanic whispering and insinuations? That's what we are discussing tonight. Are we together? By the time you are in privacy of this stage, no matter how pious you are, sincerely you will fall into fornication. You may not fall in real sexual intercourse, all these touching one another, all these kissing one another, all these evils will happen. So, al-khalwa is another thing that is unlawful between you. Are we together? Al-qubla, inshallah. Qubla is what? Kissing. You are not allowed to kiss each other. By the time you are proposed now, she has accepted my Guinea. You now want to Salaam alaikum, you now kiss her. Sincerely, you are a criminal. It's a sin. You are a sinner before Allah. If you want to make this lawful for you, what is the solution? Nikah, and I'm coming to that. Number 7 is al-mu'anaqa. Al-mu'anaqa, that is hugging. That is what? You can't hug her. You can't embrace her. Because you are not lawful to each other. By the time you hug her now, the way you feel. By the time her chest touches your own, by the time you just hug her like this, the way you feel. You will not want to leave her. She will not want to leave you. You can see now, petrol and fire, they have caught one another. You know what will happen? You can imagine the situation. You are not lawful to each other to the level of what? Hugging each other. Please, this issue is not laughing matter. It's issue that affects our spirituality. Once all this is happening, you yourself, within yourself, while you feel it, spiritually I'm affected. You may not even be happy, but spiritually you are affected. It may even affect your session of Quran. It may affect your fasting on Monday, Thursday. It may affect your waking up in the night for Tahajjud. It may even affect your work. You are even performing salat regularly. Because sometimes that may even lead to the issue of releasing sperm. When you are supposed to observe salat, you feel like, I can't pray now. I can't pray. You not tell people why you can't pray. Because you have just romanced a girl in the class area, whereby you released. And you need to go and take ritual bath. Because you really understand what? Do you understand all this now? You can't do that. Are we together? Likewise, as Safar man, you can't travel together. Sisters, listen to this aspect. A brother has proposed to you. You and the brother, you are strangers. You can't travel together. Let us assume you are from Lagos State. Your parents are there in Lagos State. But you met at UCH where we are doing the lecture tonight. The brother is from probably Akure, and the father of the brother wants to know you. Let me know that girl. You said you want to marry. He now approaches you. My father wants to know you. So inshallah, like this Saturday, you travel to Akure. You go and know my father. And you too, you follow him. Something is wrong with you. You don't understand your religion. There was a case like that, a case of a sister. A sister using black hijab. I know what I'm saying. Sincerely, fornication happened between that brother and that sister. They traveled, they left one town here in Yoruba land to another faraway town where the father of that brother was farming. He was a farmer. You know those our baba out of the love kí n mọ ìyàwó ọmọ mi kó tó dijọ́ tá a yọjú sí ilé wọn. I need to know the wife or the wife to be of my child before the day we even go to meet our family. The father made the request and the child approached the wife to be. She followed him to his father. By the time they reach there, they have problem with the way, the vehicle here and there. They could not reach the place on time. By the time they reach the place, before they were entertained, then it was already Maghrib. And if they want to come back to that city, to take them around 3.5 hours. And they say, please, by the time you reach this little town, it will be around 10:30. Please stay with us. And you leave as early as 5 a.m. tomorrow. And they have only one room. Only one word. You know what the father did? Okay, no problem. Now, maybe I'm from this village. I will go and sleep with Babara Ibe, my friend, in the other place. So you and your and the sister could not even resist it. Baba, no, better let me go and manage with one woman in the area. That brother and the fiancé, or we normally call it, they slept together in the same room. Before Salatul Subuhi, petrol and fire already caught each other. They have exploded. They have exploded. Sincerely, we need to be careful. You can't travel together. Islamically, that is wrong. And finally, because of the time, you can't have sex. Anything that will lead to having sexual intercourse, it is not lawful until nikah is established. How do you now establish nikah? Very simple. After you have approached the sister, she has accepted. Do you get it now? The next thing you need to do is to go through a walish. And for nikah to be authentic, just some things must be met. I do advise people, any nikah that will be questionable, don't do it. That will tarnish your image, desist from it. That will make your personality to be questionable, you need to be careful. Do nikah that you and your wife, you know you are lawful to each other. Not whereby you'll be asking scholars, okay, start saying, no, but say them, are we lawful to each other? In fact, someone asked me a question like that. Was it not last year? And I answered the question. I said, you shouldn't have even asked me the question. The person was not even happy about the question. You know what happened? They later had sex. And later, when some problem arose, the husband now called me. Do you get it now? He even came to me. Like, it's as if, don't say it's as if. With what happened? Wallahi, you are not lawful to each other. You know, when I call one Ustaz Samsung and Ustaz Tok, I said, tell that Ustaz Samsung, he knows me very well, that I was there. And I said, what happened today was not Akdu Nikah. Wallahi, I was at the same. What happened was not Akdu Nikah. It was like we went there for khitbah. Because you now propose the girl through the father. And later you now say, you now twisted something. We need to be careful. We need to do what? To be careful. You know, nikah is not when it is flamboyant, when you use mapor, when you use Genesis or when you use Jogo Satan. No. Or you use a trencher doll in University of Ibadan. No. Nikah can be done even inside parlor. Parlor is even too big. You know kuku adie. Kuku adie, you know kuku adie. What's the English for kuku adie again? Kuku adie, can you borrow me one English for kuku adie? Where they normally keep hens and chickens. Do you get it now? No. What do you call it? Borrow me one English, please. What do you call it? Kuku adie. You can do nikah inside kuku adie. You know what it entails? Let me tell you. You have already proposed this that she has accepted. Walij, even walij, the concept of the guardian of the girl. He will alter the sigatul aqdi that I, Alaji, so, I give out the hand of my daughter, so to brother, so in marriage. That is one of the things that must happen. We need to see at least 2 witnesses, 2 just and conscious, God-fearing Muslims, not corrupt Muslims. Because there are some Muslims who are corrupt, they will support corrupt practices. Yes or no? And he too is also a fornicator. By the time they say, no, I was there, they have done nikah, they have not done nikah. But he too, he fornicates. Do you get it now? Bed of the same thing, they will support each other. Yes or no? Yes. We need two just Muslims, God-fearing Muslims. Wallahi, I was there when the father of Sister Lagbaja gave her hand out in marriage to brother Lakasegbe. That is okay. Are we together now? At least two just Muslims. And if that is not established, because there is this divergence among scholars, bain al-ishad wal-i'lan, publicity, publicize it. If there are no two witnesses, publicity, that will happen. Then maharu, that maharu is another issue that this time will not contain it. Do you get it now? You need to give sister. All these are our cultural gifts. You normally request for 41 tubers of yam, a bag of salt, a keneka. All this is your Yoruba culture. That is not maharu we are talking about. Maharu soda is a gift, compulsory gift. Wa'atu nisaa sadaqatihinna nihla is wajib, is compulsory. And that can be in kind or cash. It depends on the wife requirement or demand. Are we together now? Yes. It is between husband and wife. I want a jeep. I want a mosque. I want Sahih Bukhari. I want recitation of Surah Al-Fatiha. I know. Hardly we have a sister who will now say that easy. But a companion married with just recitation of Quran, if the husband is poor, it depends on the nature of the husband. But Prophet has told us that a woman whose marriage will be blessed is a woman whose maru is what? Is easy to get. It depends on the husband you want to marry. In one narration, Akolluhunna Soda. In another narration, Aisaru. Both are there in narrations. That a woman whose maru is, is infinitesimal, is small, or is easy, not too difficult for the husband to do what? To get. Are we together now? Okay. So you get that. If that has happened, walima should follow. Walima is not compulsory, but some scholars said it's compulsory. Whether it's compulsory or not, by the time you even buy, let us assume you prepare a Congo of rice, kò lè burú fún ọ, kọ́ta fún ọ, kọ́mọ́ 300 naira. That used to buy a Congo of rice and 200 naira to buy what do you call it, fish and pepper. By the time you spend 2,000-3,000 naira, at worst you do your own walima. But what matters most is what you have explained in the past. You yourself, you are ready, and to a larger extent, according to your ability, you can cater for the wife. So once you are ready to marry the girl, the father is ready to give her out. We have two witnesses, are we together? And you give her mahar, which can be paid promptly or deferred. That mahar can be deferred. It can be a promise that I'm a student. Now, by the time I graduate and I am now working at UCH, no problem, give you which one you want to get, 100,000. No problem. After 6 months I've started working, I'll give you. It can be a promise. And if the husband doesn't pay it till he dies, that money will be deducted from his properties before the party will be shared in Islam. And if there is no any mentioned maharu mithli, the maharu that the like of that girl is normally collecting in that particular environment will be given to the girl. If all this happens sincerely, you are lawful to each other. But you know our problem. Inshallah, I'm running for it. Our problem is we want something flamboyant. When we are now disobeying Allah, we want something very what? Flamboyant. And we are disobeying Allah. Why can't you do what you know will save you from the torment of hellfire? Why can't you do something that will save you from disgrace? Do you know cases of, there are certain things happening now. Even I can see some people who are busy with phone, probably chatting or doing something else. For example, you know what I've observed in this environment? Number one, our educational setup affects our marriage. Don't be deceived. All these things 3, 3, 4 is wasting of time. One line. I know what I'm saying. I was a commercial student before. In 1998, that was the year I did WAEC at Eleta High School Academy over there. Go and check the record, it's there. All the art students in that year, they failed the government. All the art students in 1998 said in Eleta High School, all of them, they failed government. And they learned government from SS1 to SS3. I was a commercial student. Later I changed to art because initially I wanted to study economics and political science. Later I came to Arabic Islamic studies. Due to certain things that happened there, I now registered for government and Islamic studies. A brother from UI, who is now, I think is now in London, is now an associate professor. He now taught me government. Within 3 months, I had A1 in government. Government, I was taught for how many months?
3 months.
You know what he was doing for me? Brother Said. You know what he was doing for me? This was the syllabus, WAEC syllabus. We were taking it, a topic after a topic. And he gave me the textbook, and I bought this key point where they summarize everything. I read the key point and one textbook. I had A1 in government. Government, I was taught how many months?
8 months.
How many months? 3 months. He taught me. Though we couldn't finish the whole syllabus, but he taught me more than 70%. I read the remaining topic. All this Clifford in a constitution. I read it myself. I had A1 in government. Those who learned it 3 years, they all failed. Wasting of time. 6, 3, 3, 4. By the time you will have left secondary school now, you know your age. By the time you have this thing, it is advisable that you get married before you reach 20 years of age. You'll be able to, especially girls, before you reach menopause, no menopause for me. I can even see the giving birth even by age 90. But now, even one of the brothers from this UCH, I don't know brother, I can't recollect his name. One of the brothers, I think has graduated from UCH now. We did one program together at Ondo State, marriage counseling. I was invited for Islamic aspect, he was invited for medical aspect. I know it's one of the brothers who graduated from this study of learning. He told the audience then, I was there, he discussed medical point of view, I discussed Islamic point of view. He told us that from one of the research they carried out, most girls, their first contact as far as sex is concerned is under 20. Most girls. Even some girls who use hijab. I'm telling you, before they reach 20 years, they have already, tasted what? Sex. Be it lawfully or unlawfully. Now, this our education setup is affecting us. 1634. You need to be careful. Set agenda for your children. I know a sister who was at the University of Ilorin at age 19. And she served. After that, she started her master. And she did nikah around age 20. I think she's doing her PhD now in Malaysia. It is better. By the time our sisters are doing nikah at early age, sincerely that to reduce what? The issue of illicit sexual act. Are we together? Number 2 is our orientation. Are we together? Most of us, orientation we had from our parents is that we can only do nikah when we have achieved. And what is achievement to them? By the time you are a medical doctor, by the time you are an engineer, by the time you are a graduate, by the time you are a PhD holder, sincerely that may not be achievement. If someone is a professor and he now gets married after he is now a professor at age 36 and he has fornicated several times, and a boy of 60 years get married, sincerely before Allah, that boy of 60 years is better than professor of 36 years. It's not about age, it's not about achievement, it's about what? Being conscious of Allah. Are we together now? What our parents count as achievement may not be achievement to Allah. Do you get it now? Because you want to achieve, you are not fornicating, you are fornicating. Another evil, that may even lead to abortion. Do you get it now? By the time I know someone who aborted 4 times. A small girl using hijab. She aborted 4 times. Why? She couldn't control herself again. Another problem is that, please, just have it at the back of your mind. I don't want to involve in premarital sex. If you are falling a victim, seek repentance from Allah and try to go and marry. I will not tell you control yourself. You can't control yourself again. You can't. What you have tasted before. Even if you want to control yourself now, sometimes you'll be feeling like, like last month, 3 months ago. If you have tasted illicit sex in the past, repent and please go and marry. I would say control yourself for the main time you will get married. And if Allah has saved you from it, please add in the back of your mind, I don't want to fornicate. I don't want to embark on premarital sex. I legally marry. Are we together? Finally, Ask yourself, if before Almighty Allah you are questioned how you have spent your youthful age, will you be among the successful? Our Holy Prophet Muhammad, he said, "La tazalu qadam abdi yawm al-qiyamah hatta yus'ala an arba." That in the hereafter, you will not go free before Allah until you are asked about 4 questions. In another narration, Sheikh Al-Albani, he said it's answer 5 questions. 5 what? Questions, but with different wordings. In one of the wordings, you will be queried about your youthful age, about your shabab. If you are now asked about your youthful age, my dear brothers in Islam, just answer within yourself as I'm concluding this lecture. Will I be among the successful? Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.